Welcome to our channel Intellectingly. The Berlin Wall. A symbol of division, conflict, and, ultimately, unity. For 28 years, it stood as a concrete manifestation of the Cold War, splitting a city in two and representing the ideological divide between East and West. But what led to its creation? And how did it finally come crumbling down? Post-war division of Germany. After the defeat of Nazi Germany in 1945, the nation lay in ruins, and it was quickly divided into four occupation zones controlled by the United States, Britain, France, and the Soviet Union. But it wasn't just Germany that was divided. Berlin, the capital city, became the focal point of Cold War tensions, despite lying deep within Soviet-controlled East Germany. As the Cold War intensified, the ideological split between the capitalist West and communist East became more pronounced. Tensions reached their peak in the late 1940s, culminating in events like the Berlin airlift of 1948 to 1949. The rise of tensions and East German exodus. By the 1950s, a clear divide had formed between the thriving West Germany, supported by the Marshall Plan, and the Soviet-controlled East Germany, which lagged economically and politically under communist rule. With life better in the West, millions of East Germans fled, many through Berlin. Between 1949 and 1961, more than 2.5 million East Germans fled to the West, creating a brain drain that deeply alarmed East German leadership. The construction of the Berlin Wall. In August 1961, East Germany, under the leadership of Walter Ulbricht and with Soviet support, took drastic action. In the dead of night on August 13th, construction began on a barrier that would divide families, friends, and an entire city. The Berlin Wall wasn't just a wall, it was a complex, heavily guarded structure. Over time, it evolved into a 12-foot-high concrete barrier that stretched for 96 miles around West Berlin, fortified by barbed wire, guard towers, and a death strip designed to prevent escapes. Life under the Berlin Wall. Life in Berlin changed overnight. Families were torn apart, jobs were lost, and neighborhoods were divided. On the west side, life carried on, supported by a thriving capitalist system. But in the East, life under communism was marked by scarcity, surveillance, and repression. Despite the risks, many East Germans were determined to escape. Over the years, thousands tried, some in ingenious ways, using tunnels, hot air balloons, or even makeshift zip lines. Tragically, many lost their lives in the attempt. The wall claimed the lives of an estimated 140 people, though the actual number may be higher. Global tensions and the role of the Berlin Wall. The Berlin Wall was more than just a physical divide, it was a symbol of the broader Cold War conflict. It became a central issue in global politics, with the US and Soviet Union at constant odds over its presence. In 1963, US President John F. Kennedy visited Berlin, delivering his famous speech in front of the wall, Ich bin ein Berliner, declaring solidarity with the people of West Berlin. The wall stood through some of the most dangerous moments of the Cold War, including the Cuban Missile Crisis and proxy wars across the globe. The fall of the Berlin Wall. By the late 1980s, the winds of change were sweeping across Eastern Europe. Soviet Premier Mikhail Gorbachev introduced policies of glasnost and perestroika, encouraging reform and transparency. This set off a domino effect in Eastern Europe, where communist regimes began to fall one by one. In East Germany, massive protests erupted, demanding more freedom and the ability to travel to the West. On November 9, 1989, a government spokesman mistakenly announced that travel restrictions were being lifted immediately. That night, thousands of East and West Berliners gathered at the wall. The gates opened, and the wall was breached. The reunification of Germany. The fall of the Berlin Wall set in motion a rapid series of events that led to the reunification of Germany. On October 3, 1990, less than a year after the wall fell, East and West Germany officially became one country again. This process, known as Die Wende or the turnaround, wasn't without its challenges. Chancellor Helmut Kohl played a crucial role in guiding the reunification process. It required delicate negotiations between the four occupying powers, the United States, the Soviet Union, Britain, and France, as well as East and West German officials. Economic disparities between East and West Germany were immense, and integration posed both financial and social challenges. But for the German people, reunification was more than just a political event, it was the healing of a national wound. The Berlin Wall, which had once divided them, now symbolized unity, freedom, and the end of Cold War tensions. The fall of the Berlin Wall also had a ripple effect throughout the world. It was a signal that the Cold War was coming to an end. The legacy of the Berlin Wall. Today, most of the Berlin Wall is gone, with only small sections remaining as memorials to a divided past. In modern Berlin, these remnants serve as a powerful reminder of the ideological conflicts that once divided the world. The Berlin Wall stands as a symbol of the power of freedom, resilience, and the human spirit. It reminds us of the dangers of division but also the incredible potential for unity. The Wall's legacy is not just about the Cold War, it's about the hope for a future where no barriers, physical or ideological, can keep people apart. The story of the Berlin Wall is a powerful lesson from history. For nearly 3 decades, it stood as a symbol of division, fear, and oppression. Yet, in the end, it came down not through violence but by the will of the people. It serves as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, the desire for freedom, and the belief that no wall, no matter how high or long, can stand forever against the forces of change. As we look back at the Berlin Wall, we are reminded of the importance of unity, dialogue, and understanding. And we remember that even in the darkest times, hope can prevail. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more deep dives into history.